will be gunning for a record-setting 5th win.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars.
I've said it for the last 2 weeks that he's the greatest quarterback of all time. And I said this because over the history of his career, he has done nothing but win football games.
And now it's time to play football. The 3-time Super Bowl MVP, Tom Brady, who has virtually every record for a quarterback.
This is the draft report on you. Basically, it goes poor build, skinny.
So Tom Brady faces an uphill battle now.
Lacks great physical stature and strength.
Lacks mobility and ability to avoid the rush.
He was skinny, slow.
Right.
As Tom Brady leads the Wolverines back. The most underrated college quarterback in the country, Tom Brady.
He'd already established his legacy as the greatest quarterback ever. This adds to it because this is probably the most incredible part of his legend.
All right, Aikman, here we go, starting from the 25. And with that, they play action. Brady, sack. 3rd down and 19 now. And down he goes again.
At the combine, when you watch Tom, you saw this tall, gangly looking kid. Looked like you haven't ever seen a weight room.
His 40 time and that vertical jump in 32 years of doing this, we talked about 576 quarterbacks. He was number 576.
Does he wow you throwing the ball? There were some other guys that could shoot it.
Tim Duncan, Tom Brady, the greatest, most coachable, great players of my lifetime. Once you're great, having somebody to tell you you're not always great is not the easiest thing to do, and Duncan and Brady set the bar.
What a cut!
I thought I saw the symbolic end of Tom Brady.
Touchdown, Atlanta!
What is this going to end up being, like 35-10? Are they going to bring their f***ing bench in?
End zone. Caught for the touchdown, Austin Hooper.
I know he seems perfect, but he's a human being. Here's a newsflash. At a certain point, everybody is going to fall off. He said he will play until he sucks. He knows that's inevitable, that at some point he will not be able to play at the same level.
Falcons overload the right side of the Patriots offensive line. Pass is picked. Intercepted.
When he leaps out to the best of his ability and he comes up empty as the DB runs by him and he lays there, I thought that was the end.
And the Falcons add to their lead. Alford with a pick 6.
Tom Brady is overrated.
2 images that I'm going to remember for a very, very long time. After the pick 6 in the first half, it was 21-0. They cut to Brady on the bench, head down.
Yes. 2:21 left in the first half.
This guy is really cool, though. I mean, I've been impressed watching Tom Brady on film and in television games and so on. But the way he's playing this game today, he has been very, very impressive with his calmness.
But I'm talking about that first breakthrough Super Bowl.
Tom Brady,
He
overrated.
was a first-year starter, and John Madden's up in the TV booth saying, "Shut it down, play for overtime."
I think that the Patriots, with this field position, you have to just run the clock out. You have to play for overtime now.
I remember the first time he met me, he called me Kyle Brady. And I said, "Hey, Mr. Kraft," I said, "I'm Tom Brady."
I said, I know who you are. You're our 6th-round draft choice.
They need about 40 more yards before they're going to be in field goal range.
And I always remember he looked me like a laser eye to eye. And he said, "That's right, and I'm the best decision this organization has ever made."
And it's toward the ground, and he gets out of bounds, and they might be in Vinatieri's range. 7 seconds. They got Vinatieri in range.
He keeps doing it on the biggest stage in American sports at the highest level late in games.
Is Tom Brady the best of all time, Mike? Is that a dumb question or what?
No time on the clock, and the Patriots have won Super Bowl 36.
I'll tell you what Tom Brady just did gives me goosebumps.
The Falcons with a spring to their step. The Patriots, meanwhile, walking back toward the locker room, down 21-3.
Out of that halftime, all but dead and done.
It was over.
When he got crossed up. A tough series. With 3 catches, 76 yards in the game. Here is Coleman, end zone, touchdown.
And then, for sure, it was game over when the Falcons scored to make it 28-3 with 8:31 left in the third quarter.
It made people think like, oh my God, Tom Brady has fallen off a cliff and it's over.
Well, the Patriot fans, except for the most part, I imagine, it's done silent.
As owner of the New England Patriots with his son, Jonathan Kraft, to his left, our right. He has never experienced anything like this in a Super Bowl.
Tom Brady was down 28-3.
We all got eyes. That score was 28-3.
It's Tom Brady, though, man. I know. I'm never comfortable. We about to put up 40-something on their ass. But I'm saying, they never seen anything like this.
That a lot of people thought in the first half, well, it's over. No, it's not, because they have Captain America. And this is what he does. He finds a way to win games. I've never seen anything like this. What I saw last night may be the greatest performance I've ever seen.
And again, the Patriots are down by the 28-3 score.
Pass is caught. Tackle is
At some point in your life, you're going to have to face the facts. This man has not only eclipsed Joe Montana, he's eclipsed the greatest Michael Jordan as a clutch player.
And I'm not surprised at all they're going for it here on 4th down. They're on 46, down by 25. Has a man, first down, big conversion, Amendola.
We said, oh, this game is over, first quarter. So when did you think that the Falcons had this game won?
Brady flushed out, will run and get it.
And then here comes Brady.
He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's got the greatest will and pre-snap, drive, focus, endurance, discipline, efficiency. Things that don't sell on the Kardashian show, but things that provide him with an edge on every other competitor.
I wasn't even saying that we were coming back. I was, maybe they'll make it a little respectable. I don't know.
Touchdown!
30 seconds to play.
To me, what separates really good players from great players, execute well under pressure.
How do you deal with the pressure? That goes for every player.
Tom Brady, as it stands right now, the best there is, the best there was, the best that ever will be.
Hits his man, Daniel Graham, to the 40. Boy, you have to wonder, is it in the cards again for Adam Vinatieri, who has not had a sterling night here tonight?
Tom Brady wasn't something that happens every year. You're not going to find that 6th-round quarterback who becomes a Hall of Famer. It just isn't going to happen.
As his man inside the 25-yard line, Deion Branch made the catch. Timeout is called with 8 seconds on the clock.
And when I look at Tom Brady, Joe Montana is the name that pops into my mind. That I say, this guy reminds me of Joe Montana.
The New England Patriots claim their second Super Bowl championship in 3 years. We've talked about it in this era of free agency and player movement. That's as close to a dynasty as you're ever going to find.
Well, it is, Greg. 15 games in a row.
Patriots defense.
Defense chant.
Hearing it.
Boy, this Patriots crowd just took over the stadium.
Gets hit. Ball is out.
When they got the fumble sack.
New England has it. Hightower knocked it out.
And they showed Brady's reaction. That was the first time I actually thought the Pats had a chance.
It's very hard to imagine anyone thinking at 28-3 with 23 minutes left in this game that the Patriots could come out of their doldrums and really start attacking.
This is 4-down territory for New England.
Is simply through the force of Tom Brady's will.
That's Mitchell. First down.
Folks, it's not even a debate anymore. There is no more debate. People don't do their homework if they do debate. He is the greatest quarterback that has ever played.
That's the GOAT, like the GOAT all the time. Not just any position, every position.
48-3 on. I just can't imagine another quarterback who could have done that.
Gives the ball to the Patriots. This is a big two-point conversion here to really apply the pressure on the Falcons. They were 1 for 2 during the regular season on two-point tries.
Textbook Kevin Falk play right there. Now we got a ball game, folks.
And it's good. James White. It's a one-score game in Super Bowl 51. Brady is a guy who has started his postseason career 8-0. That's the best start ever.
The fact that Tom Brady can go to a park and just pick anybody, that's what makes him the greatest, man. That's why you don't need to pay a receiver $20-something million or whatever.
And the New England Patriots will be the first dynasty of the 21st century.
Strictly magnificent.
No timeouts. 10 seconds left. And you have the ball at the 17-yard line. That's 2 shots into the end zone.
It goes without saying that Brady will be in the discussion if he's not already as one of the best of
I think
all
he's
time,
the greatest.
if not the best.
Do you? I do. I think he's the greatest that ever played the game.
I'm lost and I'm found. And I'm
Brady's back! That's your quarterback! Who left the building? Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef?
The biggest lead was 25 points at 28-3 with under 2.5 left in the third quarter.
Was Julio Jones. Jesus Christ. And what a throw. Matt Ryan was also running when he made that throw. I was like, oh my God, every Super Bowl now.
Considering the circumstances with all the momentum with New England, the biggest catch of this second half.
The New England Patriots were clearly a better football team than the New York Football Giants that day. The Patriots got robbed by the luckiest play in NFL history.
I think you kind of summed it up. It's probably the luckiest play in NFL.
Really? Tyree managed to pin it against the side of his helmet.
That stink is the perfect season. 18-0.
It feels like just, you got hit by a runaway train with Atlanta.
All the Falcons had to do was run some clock and kick the field goal.
They're just trying to run the clock now. And right now, everybody has got to be telling him, including Kyle Shanahan, do not take a sack.
Opportunity missed after that incredible catch by Julio Jones.
Oh, it was such a good drive for Atlanta. Now they're giving the ball back, and they're going to put Tom Brady in position to tie this game up.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to Super Bowl 49.
Getting critical mass now at 11:15 left in this football game.
The signature play of the last Super Bowl came on that 3rd and 14 play.
Hanging in despite a huge hit from Cam Chancellor.
It's a money catch right there.
Tom Brady and the Patriots looking for a fourth quarter drive to take the lead here in Super Bowl 49.
I love watching guys like that because the way they play the game is larger than life.
Down 3 as we near the 2:15 mark of the fourth. The Patriots with a 2nd and goal to go. The ball inside the left hash mark at the 3.
Is Tom Brady the best quarterback that we've ever seen play the game?
Hands down. I've said it right before I got to New England. Hands down, the greatest ever.
The short area quickness, the change of direction.
Touchdown, Patriots! They're back in the lead in Super Bowl 49.
When things seem dire, what do you do in life? You go right to people that you can depend on.
When everybody counts you out, no one thinks you even have a chance, and he still did it.
They go 91 yards here. They'll have a chance to tie it.
I was waiting for what I believed was a Joe Montana moment from Tom Brady to eclipse him over Joe Montana. This was it.
There's pressure. He throws toward the right. Hogan makes the grab at the 25. Wow. What a strike between a pair of defenders. Tackled by Collins. First down, New England.
Money throw by number 12.
And he's out of bounds with another first down.
New England not only mounted a comeback, but played a virtually flawless last 45 minutes. spearheaded once again by the GOAT, the greatest quarterback I've ever seen.
Here's Edelman broken up. Edelman comes down with a football, and they're saying it's a catch. Oh, that's a catch. Oh my God, that's incredible.
Number 11, Julian Edelman, the Iron Man.
Listen, there have been 7 comebacks of 25 points or more in NFL history. 15,000 games, only 7.
And we are at the 2-minute warning.
We'll be talking about this game for 30, 40.
On first down, Brady underneath, finds White. White down inside the 10.
I concede. I have nothing to say. It's the greatest performance I've ever seen.
Try and finish off this comeback.
He's right in there with Babe Ruth, Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, and Tom Brady. Those are the 4 guys on my Mount Rushmore.
Tom Brady now somehow is over 400 yards passing in this game.
Tom Brady threw for 246 yards in the 4th quarter alone.
Touchdown, James White.
That's Clay Thompson. That's unbelievable.
Number 12's Hero got into a huddle, I think down in Miami, and said, hey, isn't it John Candy over there in the stands? Listen to the Brady chant.
And now the biggest 2-point attempt in the history of the Patriots franchise. This is a tie game. Don't ever count Tom Brady out. Best ever? Best ever in my book. It's the best I've seen, and he's put on a show here in the last 30 minutes of this ball game, and to climb back in it.
When the Patriots won the coin toss, the game was over.
It was. I said there's no way they're settling for a field goal here. They're going to go right down. They're going to score.
The Patriots, by way of the word of Matthew Slater, heads win the coin toss.
Still does carry that chip on his shoulder. He's carried it around his entire career. It's driven him. It's what's made him great.
The opening kickoff to the first ever overtime in Super Bowl history. A rally that was next to impossible, more than improbable.
Brady will start at the 25, and again, a touchdown. The game is over.
To win it with this drive, the Pats need to score a touchdown.
And it's White out of the backfield. James White trying to tiptoe.
Nice little drive starter right there. Quick little flip out to the side.
This game was over at 14-0. It was over at 21-0.
2nd and 4.
Biggest witch hunt I've ever seen in my life. That stupid Deflategate thing.
Deflategate.
And just all the justice that came out of it. The fact that it went to court, it got laughed out of court to the point the judge was actually pissed.
I thought it was the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my entire life.
He says, I'm still great. You think my greatness has to do with a football.
I'm sick. Absolutely disgustingly sick.
You want to hire a scientist to wave footballs afterwards to figure out why you lost by 50 points? I mean, more power to you.
Hogan inside the 40.
I mean, we all know he's really good. This was mythical.
I believe that Tom Brady will come back with a vengeance.
Ali got his brains beat in for 7 or 8 rounds, then he knocked Foreman out. And it's one of the greatest, most memorable fights of all time. We just saw Tom Brady's rumble in Houston.
Julian Edelman.
To me, he was so great late last night in that game that he rendered the Deflategate saga irrelevant.
But that was mythical. That's Halo stuff. That's Zaire. That's 104 hitting jumpers. It's the first time I walked out and I'm like, he's floating to that locker room.
And he was as great as you could possibly be. In the history of pro football, who's had a fourth?
No.
You know what my favorite ring is? The next one. That's my favorite.
And a title for the Patriots!
I can't believe it!
They have completed the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history, led by the greatest quarterback
34-28, the final in overtime.
Whoever was left in that NRG Stadium in Houston booed Roger Goodell like no commissioner, like no head of sport has ever been booed.
And Roger Goodell, like the end of a f***ing Die Hard movie. The police commissioner who didn't believe in the rogue cop.
First of all, Deflategate is now over. The Patriots have won and Roger Goodell has lost.
And in the end, he did get to watch Roger Goodell present that trophy to Bob Kraft, who just delighted in it.
But a lot has transpired during the last 2 years. And I don't think that needs any explanation. This is unequivocally the sweetest. How sweet is that, Tom?
But Tom Brady is the greatest player that's ever played in the NFL. You're never, never, never going to see this again. Enjoy it.